And on the left, here you see the old hedge, which is about 10 years old, which hasn't been cut and laid there, and here it has been cut and laid. And this is its first year, having been cut and laid last winter. And it's sprouting like crazy, and also being cut lower down by the mouths of the bullocks on this side. Here you see 3 different kinds of trees. A single evergreen oak in the foreground, surrounded by Corsican pines, and just behind some ash. And in the long run, the Corsican pines, except for 1 or 2, will be cut out, and they've done the job of keeping the evergreen oak and the ash warm and encouraging them to grow up strongly in their early years. And probably the nearest Corsican pine to that will come out in about 4 or 5 years' time, and 2 have come out already just the other side of the hedge. So it's a gradual process of liberating and making the hardwood stronger. This is a hawthorn hedge planted 14 years ago, and its purpose is to be made into a stock-proof barrier hedge so that it'll keep sheep and cattle out of this little wood here. And the idea is to let these hawthorns, all planted about a foot or so apart, grow up to 12 to 15 foot, and then cut and lay them into a stock-proof hedge. This is the important cut, and then this piece is cut at an angle so, and that will come off. And the heel there will regrow and sprout up here and here and here like crazy, sending the sap up the bottom of the cut piece here into the rest of the tree. And these will grow and bind in amongst the hedge, as you'll see. And then I'll cut these with a little snick here so that they also bind in with the next one, and that one here, and everything wants to grow together as thick as possible so that a great big bullock won't be able to get through it, because it's not necessary. It's thick enough here, and I don't want it to be too big and strong, because I want it to be as even and consistent as possible. So in some places you need everything that's growing there, and in some places you need to have a little bit out, and very occasionally you haven't got enough living material and you have to put in a piece of dead wood, but that will come out. And then I shall snick this piece and press it in into the top of the hedge. And my 4 tools are a bill hook, a hammer made of ash and evergreen oak wood, a chainsaw, and a pair of mighty cutters, which I can show you. A chainsaw and a pair of mighty cutters. And 100 years ago, the only difference would have been a variation on those, but an axe instead of a chainsaw, and that would have made the job a bit slower, quite a lot slower, but now it's a lot easier having a chainsaw. Once the hedge has been cut and laid over at the bottom and bound together, then we put in stakes every so much and biff them in. And then, once you've got the stakes at roughly the right level, we have a hazel binder, which looks something like this, and they go in along the top of each stake and help to keep the whole hedge tight and together, so when a bullet comes to the other side, because there aren't animals at this side, only at the other side, they will not be able to push against it and make a way through. They'll just push up against it and then eat it, and as they eat it over the years it gets thicker and thicker and thicker. And that fence, the other side, will come down when this is all finished, so that the animals can get at it and clip the animal side with their mouths over the years, the sheep in the winter and the cattle in the summer. These stakes and the binders will last for about between 7 and 12 years, and then they'll rot away and they won't be needed because everything will have grown so tightly together.
Right,